Hello Abhijit. Hi Albi. Hello Diksha. Hi Manali. Okay, great. Good evening Abhijit. Hello. I don't know who pinged right now. I don't see the name. It says waiting. Let's just wait for a couple of minutes for others to join in. Meanwhile, do you have any doubts from the previous class? And have you guys been able to complete week 2 assignments? Can you guys hear me? Yeah, so have you been able to complete week 2 assignments? Okay. I believe we ended the last class with optimization of the search campaign, right? Hi, Vandana. All right. So I think let's start off with this week's topics. Can you confirm if you can see my screen? All right. So let's just get started. So this week, today and Thursday, we'll be looking at Google Display Network. First 2 weeks we were covering the search network. Now we'll be looking at display network. And today I'll be covering mostly what is display network and what are the different targeting options that are available on display network and the ad formats. Okay. So I hope to complete this much today, and ad gallery tool and the campaign creation demo I might be doing in the next class along with conversion tracking. Okay. All right. So let's get started. What are the two different networks that are part of Google network? The Google search and the Google display network, right? So when you create a campaign and create ads on Google AdWords platform, these ads are eligible to show anywhere on the Google network, which means anywhere on either the Google search network or the Google display network. So what does this display network consist of? It has few Google properties like YouTube, Gmail, Blogger, all these websites, and then it has over 3 million partner websites and mobile apps. So when you go to any websites these days like NDTV or Times of India, BBC or ESPN, you see lots of ads over there, right? Some are text ads, some are video, some are image ads. So these are ads which can be created on the Google AdWords platform and targeted to appear on those websites, provided those websites are part of Google's display network. Same with mobile apps. How many of you have seen ads within a mobile app when you open an app? Can you name any one app where you have noticed a ad when you opened it, or somewhere inside the app, mobile app? Can somebody recall any of your mobile apps which you are where you have noticed? Okay, Abhijit says he has noticed it. Make my trip. Okay. I have seen this Oppo ad a lot in Book My Show. Most of the time when I open Book My Show, first I see the Oppo ad and then the homepage starts. Garnier, okay. NDTV, very good. So these when you think display network, I want you guys to understand that it is both websites as well as mobile apps. Okay, it's not just blogs or websites which will show ads. It is also the search or the Google network on the mobiles. So it could be mobile websites, it could be mobile apps. That also. Now, apart from that, a variety of ad formats are possible when it comes to Google Display Network. On search network, what kind of ad format do you see normally? What kind of ads do you see? Can you think about how many categories of ads are there? Text, okay. What else? Then you have those ads with product pictures, price, website, name, all these things, right? When you, let's say you are typing something like buy shoes, those are called shopping ads, which we will see in the last section when we reach there. Text and shopping ads are the two ad formats that are seen on Google search network, that is google.com and the search partners. But when it comes to display network, you can see text, you can see image ads, you can see video ads, you can see something called rich media ads. So a variety of ad formats are possible to be seen on display network. And the name that you're seeing on the right hand side of this presentation, Google AdSense, that is a different product, so we won't go into the details of it. Just understand that AdWords is a advertiser side platform. So as an advertiser, if I want to create ads and target any website or mobile app, I use Google AdWords. Now, if I'm having a mobile app or a website and I want Google AdWords ads to appear there, so that when people click on it, Google pays me a commission and I can earn money, AdSense is the platform that I use as a publisher. So I call myself a publisher because I'm somebody who is giving space for these ads on my website or mobile app. Is that clear? So on the advertiser side, you have Google AdWords platform to create ads and target them to websites and apps. On the publisher side, you have something called Google AdSense, which is a completely different product, which you can use to provide space for ads on your website or mobile app. Any doubts so far? Is it clear? Hi, Robin. We just got started 5 minutes back. Okay, I'll repeat one more time. So I was saying a variety of ad formats are possible on Google Display Network, like text, image, video, rich media, etc. And just like how as an advertiser or a marketer, I have a product like Google AdWords to create ad, okay, and target it to different websites or apps. If I'm a website owner or a mobile app owner and I wish to provide space for ads on my website or mobile app, I make use of another Google product which is called Google AdSense. So it is given here because it is part of this ecosystem, but we won't be going into details of it because it's not uh, search engine marketing. From that perspective, we are studying only AdWords. Anybody has any doubt? Okay, great. Then moving on, let us see a short video on what is Google Display Network.
Have you ever wanted to advertise on popular websites? Or promote your business with images and video? You can with the Google Display Network. The Display Network is a collection of more than 1 million websites, smartphone apps, videos, blogs, and other online destinations that show AdWords ads, giving you the opportunity to reach more than 80% of all internet users worldwide in more than 30 languages and 100 countries. Or someone with very specific tastes and interests. Let's take a look at how a typical business uses the Display Network. Ted has created an image ad that shows off the tour packages he sells. Ted already advertises on the Google Search Network, so he uses his search network keyword list to get his ads up and running on the display network. AdWords matches Ted's ad to display network web pages based on his keyword list and other factors. This means that Ted's ad can show up on travel websites and on forums discussing cool places to go hiking. There is another way to manage your ads on the display network: topics. With topics, you can pick and choose specific themes of web pages on the display network where you want your ads to show. TED uses topics to target travel and hiking themed web pages. With more than 1 million online destinations to choose from, the display network gives you powerful new ways to reach people who want to hear your message. For more information about advertising on the display network, visit the AdWords Help Center.
Okay, any doubts? It's a pretty clear video, right? Good examples. So let's now take a deeper look at what is this display network and what are the different targeting options that are available on display network. So first of all, let's look at why is display network important. First of all, do you agree with the statement rise of the constantly connected consumer? Compared to a few years back, if you look at internet connectivity of an average consumer, now you can see that it is almost round the clock a person is connected to internet, right? And what's highlighted on this data, if you look at it, the amount of videos watched by YouTube users in a minute, okay, and the searches conducted using Google in a minute, that's what is shown over here. And on the right hand side you can see the growth in this time that is spent over the years from 2012 to 17. So one factor is this. Secondly, though people have been spending more and more time on internet, where are they spending this time? If you look at your own individual user behavior, where is the largest percentage of time spent? Is it on search engine or is it on other websites or apps? We might use the search engine to get to the correct website, but the majority of the time is actually spent on other websites, right? Do you agree? Which again means when your potential customers are spending so much of time on other websites and apps, it becomes important and critical that as a marketer you are able to reach those customers or potential customers using the right ad. So when you are not on search, where are you? You might be on YouTube, you might be on some entertainment websites, watching movies, playing games, current affairs, weather reports, maybe news basically, or could be any other website, right? So if you look at the reach of Google Display Network, it reaches almost 90% of internet users worldwide, and almost all the major brands and websites are part of Google's display network. Not just that, if you look at device wise usage, people logging onto internet from desktop or mobile or across multiple platforms, you can see that almost near about 95 percentage of these internet users are accessible through Google's display network. So that's a tremendous amount of reach that you can potentially have using the when you target the Google display network. Now, is that a good or a bad thing, having such a vast network at your disposal to be targeted? How many of you think it's good? How many of you think it's not so good? Okay, Robin, Rashish, all of you say it's good. Rashish, am I pronouncing your name correctly? Is it Rashish or Rashish? Apajit, okay. So all of you think it's good. Rashish, okay. Thanks. Okay, so nobody thinks it will be a challenge if you have such a big network to target. Okay, Vandana has some doubts. The important thing is that targeting, right, Albi? Targeting the right audience becomes very critical. So you have so much of people who can be reached, but not all of them might be interested in your product or service, right? In which case, reaching them will only cost you money. It may not give you the necessary return, or you may not achieve your marketing objective. Do you see that possibility? So it becomes very important that though you have such a vast network, you have to figure out a way to reach those users who will be most relevant for your business. Which means, so when we use the term audience, audience refers to that subset of group people or users based on some criteria. It could be age criteria, gender criteria, it could be interest. Due to some common criteria, you decide they are a suitable target group for your business or service, or product or service. Am I clear? Any doubt? So that is one thing. Second thing is, if you look at user behavior, it is not necessary that a person may come across an ad on mobile, visit the website through mobile, and then gets converted through mobile. Sometimes you might see some ad on a mobile device, you might even click on it and go to a website, but you might decide to log on to that website through your laptop and then maybe fill up a form or purchase something, right? That happens very often. So the user behavior happens across devices normally, and AdWords can help you get accurate reports, which we call as cross device tracking, so that you know from where are you getting the initial leads, how are the users converting, which device is giving you maximum returns, or what device is generating maximum traffic for you. You get all these classifications from the Google AdWords reports. Okay, so cross device tracking can be seamlessly done using Google AdWords. So if that is clear, one question: if I say click-through rate or CTR is generally lower on display network compared to search network, would you agree? If yes, why? If no, why? Click-through rate, all of you remember the term click-through rate? Clicks divided by impressions into 100. If the click-through rate, I am saying it is generally lower on display network compared to search network. Diksha, yes, because GDN ads are a distraction. Okay. Relevance, closer. Anybody else want to try? Too many ads, but what if it's relevant ad, Abhijit? Correct. So the answer is it is comparatively lower on display network. Reason being, think about how a user behaves on search and display. If I'm a yoga trainer, when will my ad show up on search network? The moment you enter a query for a yoga class, in response to that query, my ad is triggered. Yeah. So who is initiating the process? The consumer or the potential customer, right? There's an explicit expression of interest in a particular product or service, which is leading to the triggering of the ad. Yeah. What happens on display network? You might be on any website or mobile app, maybe to book your movie ticket, or you might be there to read some article or watch some movie, and then you see an ad. So as Diksha said, you can call it a distraction, or If the ad happens to be very relevant to you, it might capture your attention, right? So the basic point remains that on display network, the users are not proactively looking for your ad or your product or service. They just happen to see it, which makes the likelihood of getting or them clicking lesser. Are you guys able to understand that? So if you notice that the CTR on your display network campaign is much less than search campaign, you don't have to conclude that it is a campaign that is not performing well. That's the point I'm trying to drive home. Yeah. Second question. Do you think that the performance of your ad on display network, will it affect the quality score or your cost per clicks or ad position on search network? Yes, no. The answer is no. Performance on one network does not influence your ad performance on the other. So because your CTR is low on GDN does not mean that your campaign targeting a search network can get affected or its quality score can get affected. Is that clear? Okay. So this is a slide which we included because some of you might be aware, sometime early this year, last year, during that time, the AdWords interface underwent a lot of change. So the interface that you're seeing now was not like that a year back. So when this new interface was introduced, certain features which were earlier there were not yet transitioned to the new interface. Okay, so the table I'm showing you is something that was updated 2 months back. Okay, so just to give you a heads up on that. For example, Gmail ads, it's now available, so that's not part of this. But certain other things, they are still being migrated. Now let us look at the campaigns. So the Google Display Network campaign is to be selected by selecting the second option when you create a new campaign. You remember you click the plus sign in the campaign page. You are having an option to select from these different campaigns. You select the second one. It will initiate the process of creating a Google Display Network campaign. Now, as we saw earlier, it becomes very important for you to make sure that the targeting options are defined in a very proper manner so that you can reach the right audience. Okay. Okay, 1 second, Sarmishta. Yes. That's okay, Sarmishta. If you are not feeling well, you will anyway get the recording for the session by tomorrow. You can watch the recording and ask me any doubts on Thursday. That's fine. All right. Yeah. So we need to look at the different targeting options. Okay. So tell me, what is the primary targeting method or option when it comes to search network? How do you target a potential advertiser on search network? What do you use for that? Anyone? Filters can try better. Age and location. Okay, I can still go by that. But did you have an option to select age when you created search campaign, Diksha? I'm not asking about display. I'm asking about search. What we saw last time. Okay, so when you create a search campaign, remember the ad group page. what did you put in the ad group page apart from the text ad? Just think about the steps, guys. You went to the campaign settings page, right, where you put the location and stuff. Then you went to the ad group page, you gave a name to the ad group. Then what did you do? You started adding keywords. So keywords are the primary method of targeting in a search campaign. You use a particular keyword anticipating that same query to be entered by a potential user, right? And when a user enters that term, your keyword enters the auction and triggers the ad. I hope this is clear to everyone. Any doubt on that? So primary method of targeting on uh, search campaigns is through keywords. Now, as we saw, display network is much larger. So you need more targeting options to have a clearer and more smarter, narrower targeting. So here we have two types of targeting. You can target specific websites or pages or mobile apps depending upon what kind of theme these websites or pages have. For example, if I'm having an ad about yoga classes, I can target websites or apps or app pages or web pages which have a topic related to yoga or health. Okay, that is one way of doing it, so that anybody who visits that page, they will see my ad. The second way is I can target people who are interested in health and fitness, yoga, all these things, and target them. So based on user behavior. So you can target people based on where they were, meaning based on their user or behavior online, or their basis of their interests, or you can target people based on where they are, which means you're targeting the pages or the apps. Am I clear? So when you focus on different types of people, that kind of targeting is called audience targeting. When you focus on certain themes, it is called contextual targeting, because you are targeting a particular context which has certain topics or themes. Okay, so in total you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and remarketing, 6 targeting methods. We will see them in detail now. First one is called keyword targeting. So just like how you have in search, you can use keywords in display campaign also, but the keywords don't work the way it works in search campaign. In search campaign, what happens? Let's stick with this example what is on the slide. Let's say I'm having an ad campaign for dog food, and this is a search campaign. Just first assume it's a search campaign. So what happens, Robin, if it's a search campaign? When will my keyword trigger an ad? When somebody searches for dog food, pet food, yeah, something related to that. So let's say somebody writes, that's right, Efet. One appropriate keyword is, meaning search term, is entered by the user. So let's say like what Robin said. Let's say Robin entered dog food. Now what happens? I have a keyword called dog food. That keyword matches with the Robin's search term, so it enters the auction, and if it wins the auction, the ad is triggered from that ad group. Yeah. Now the difference in display campaign is no single keyword enters the auction. How it happens is, that's why it's called contextual targeting. The system will look at all the keywords in this ad group and check what is the theme of this ad group. So if you look at all the keywords in this ad group, what is the theme? The first half of your screen: dog food, food for dogs, pet food, branded dog food online, best dog food, complete dog food. It's dog food, right? Overall. And what will it do? So it has identified the theme as dog food. Now It will look at all the web pages, YouTube video channels, YouTube videos, or mobile apps which are part of Google Display Network. Okay, and it will, based on the kind of text and other things that are present on those pages, the system will determine which are the web pages or app pages which are matching with the theme of dog food. And then if it matches, an ad from this ad group gets triggered and compete with the advertisers, other advertisers, competitors, to show up on that page. So no one keyword is triggering the ad. The entire theme is matched with the theme of the web page or the mobile app page or the YouTube video channel. Do you have any doubt here? This is called contextual keyword targeting. Please clarify if you have any doubts. All right. So that is keyword targeting. Okay, Effort. So can you tell me where are you feeling a doubt, Effort, so that I don't have to explain it completely? Do you understood the first part? You can use keywords on display campaign. Instead of one particular keyword triggering the ad, system will look at what is the theme of your keyword list. So if I have an ad group for dog food, the system will look at what is the theme of this ad group by looking at the keyword list. So it can identify if the keyword list is very tightly themed, it is easier for the system. It will identify it as dog food in this case. Next, it will look at all the different web pages and identify what is the theme of the web page. How will it identify that? By looking at the text, the content of those pages. And when the content, the theme of the web page or the mobile app page matches with the theme of the keyword list, that's how ad is triggered from the ad group for that page. Is that clear? Robin, so in contextual targeting, when I set up ad campaign, I won't be putting, yes, you will be putting keywords. That's what I'm saying. But no individual keyword is entering the auction. The entire keyword list theme is what is matched. That's right. Okay. Now, similar to this, there is another targeting option. Okay. So all the display targeting options can be used simultaneously also. So the more, if I use two different options, the target group that is overlapping with both the groups, only that will see the ad. I'll explain it in detail. So keyword targeting is clear, right? Now comes topic targeting. Topic targeting is another way of targeting. So when you create a display campaign in your ad group page, you can select topic targeting. When you select topic targeting, you get a list like how you can see in the screenshot. You get a list from where you can choose the topic. So if this dog food is my product, I will go look at pets and animals. Under pets and animals, I have a subcategory called animal products and services. That's the closest to my product, right? So if I select animal products and services, what happens is system will target the ads in this ad group to those web pages and mobile app pages which has the theme animal products and services. So instead of using keywords to help the system determine the theme, I am just straight away going to the topics and selecting the most appropriate topic for my product or service. Is that clear? The rest of it happens the same way. Wherever the web page has that theme or topic, the ad enters the auction. Anybody has any doubt over here? Okay. Then we move on to the next one. That's right, Robin. Uh, Next targeting type is called managed placement or placement targeting. In this, you can pick and choose what websites or mobile apps you want to target. So instead of giving a topic to the system, if you are very clear that, okay, for example, Yoga Journal is a very popular website where a lot of serious yoga practitioners log in, and it's a very good website. So I'm thinking that, okay, I want my ad to appear on that website. So I can search. If I select the placement targeting option, I have an option to search and see whether the app I have in mind or the website I have in mind, is it part of the network of Google, and if it is there, I can select it so that I can specifically target those websites or apps or YouTube videos or YouTube video channels. So there is a lot more control in case you know exactly where you want to target. Yeah, clear? Okay. Then we come to audience targeting. So till now we are seeing contextual targeting. In contextual targeting, what all did we see? Keyword targeting, topic targeting, and placement targeting, managed placements. Three things. Now, in audience targeting, you are targeting users based on their interest or their behavior or their age, gender, all these kind of details, demographic details. Okay. So let's look at that. The first one in this is called affinity targeting. If you look at here, audience, affinity, intent, and remarketing. Let's look at them one by one. Affinity refers to people who have expressed a certain interest through their online actions or behavior. So if you want to target somebody, let's say you're a restaurant owner, what kind of interest category do you think you will target? What kind of affinity group? Food? Food and dining? That seems the most appropriate, right? I might target food and dining as my affinity audience. So all users whose online behavior matches this criteria, they will start seeing that irrespective of whether they are on a website that is related to food or restaurant or anything. You might even be, let's say you are somebody who is a good foodie, okay, and your online behavior also suggests that maybe you're wherever you travel, you search for good restaurants and you write reviews actively on Zomato or some other Google reviews and all these things. Google may classify you under the interest category of food and dining. Now, if that happens, whether you are reading a newspaper article or you're on some other gaming website, you can still potentially see an ad related to food and dining, or my ad if I'm targeting food and dining as my interest category. So it is not, whether you see the ad is not dependent upon whether you're on a website related to food and dining. It is based on whether you are having that interest. Is the difference clear to everyone? How audience targeting is different from contextual targeting? Earlier you were targeting the pages, now you are targeting people. Okay, so affinity targeting, any doubt? Can I move on? Okay, so one more thing, sometimes you may not get a appropriate affinity audience. In that case, you can create one. That's why this custom affinity audience. If you click on this, you can give a, for example, for my tarot reading, when I created a campaign for tarot reading, I didn't find any affinity audience which are exactly matching with my audience. So I clicked on custom affinity audience and I gave some website URLs of very popular tarot websites. Now, when I gave that information and I entered certain search terms related to tarot, then the AdWords system, based on that information, created a audience group of particular gender group, particular age group, and all these things, and that became my affinity audience. So you can, if none of the affinity audience really match with your product or service, you can go ahead and create a custom affinity audience like that. Clear? All right. Then we have something called intent targeting. Intent targeting means Sometimes I may not have expressed an interest on a particular product or service. However, I may be actively researching about it. Maybe I'm even maybe on the verge of purchasing or utilizing a particular product or service. A typical example would be a lot of people may start searching for gym memberships or things like that on New Year time, right? New Year resolutions and all that. The other long term interest may have never shown an affinity for it, but during certain times, people display certain active behaviors, right? Now, intent targeting looks at those kind of behaviors where people who are actively involved in price comparisons, product comparisons, about to purchase something, you can target those groups. Is it clear? So it does not matter whether that person may have shown interest in that product or service in the past. What matters is now in real time, are they looking at various options related to that topic or product or service? So I'll be if I own a restaurant and find that most people from banking and finance don't cook at home. Can I target banking and finance? Yeah, you can. No, sorry, you're asking about affinity targeting. No, no, not in that case. So when you give banking and finance as an affinity targeting in this case, uh, what system will look at is people who have shown interest in, let's say, looking for personal loans, banking matters, financial matters. Those people, so the affinity category who constitute banking and finance may not be necessarily people working in that sector. If I am somebody who is looking for a loan, okay, and I've been searching a lot about financing options and other things, maybe I might be classified under that category, but I may not be working in that sector at all. Yeah, and I might very well be cooking at home. It's based on interest. Yeah. Okay. So are you all clear about affinity and intent and the difference? All right. Then moving on. Remarketing. Remarketing we will cover on Thursday in details. Right now, just understand that uh, like topic had you got a list of topics to target. In affinity, you got a list of topics to target for affinity groups. Similarly, in remarketing, you have a set of remarketing lists which need to be created first. So you need to create that elsewhere, which I will show you on Thursday. Once you create that remarketing list elsewhere, it will be shown over in the space where you select remarketing and you can target them. Now, what is remarketing? Remarketing simply means re-engaging with those users or retargeting those users who have visited your website and expressed interest in any particular page, product, or service. So have you noticed that sometimes when you browse certain products on Amazon or Flipkart or any such website and you leave, you start seeing ads following you related to that product? Let's say you look up some pen drive, you didn't purchase. Now maybe for the next few days you will keep seeing pen drive ads following you everywhere wherever you go online. Or you look up some flight tickets between two different locations for a particular date. You didn't book the ticket. The moment you leave that website, travel website, you start seeing ads between the exact same route for the exact same dates, maybe with some discounts following you. These are called remarketing ads because you then became part of a remarketing list where you are being uh, targeted with very highly tailored, customized ads relating to that product so that you can go back and complete that conversion. So you can, as an advertiser, you can do this by creating a remarketing list, which I will explain on Thursday. But is the concept clear? Yes, no. So again, this is part of audience targeting, because again we are targeting people based on their behavior. So this remarketing audiences can be, you can target people who visit your website. You can remarket or retarget your app users if you're having a mobile app. If you have a YouTube channel, you can remarket to people who have liked your YouTube videos or watched it or shared it. Or you can also create a customer list based on, let's say you have sourced a lot of offline data like email IDs and phone numbers, which you collected from third party providers or your offline store. You can upload that data and remarket to those people. That's also possible. So if you look at your AdWords interface and you click on that tool icon, the spanner icon on top right, you will see something called audience manager in the drop down. That audience manager is the, as per the new interface, the centralized place where you can create all these kinds of audiences, and you can create remarketing lists for your websites, YouTube users, everything. So we'll see that in detail later. Okay. And you can, this is something that I already explained in display network campaigns. You can target audiences, which means people, placements, which mean specific websites or mobile app pages, or topics by targeting with the theme contextual. And in search network campaigns, it can be used for audiences. So there is a remarketing list for search campaigns also, which is an advanced topic which we will cover in the last module. Not just that, just like how you can target specific audiences and pages, you can also exclude certain pages or audiences from seeing your ad or showing your ad. Do you think this is important? Excluding content to be shown. Why? Why is it important? Can somebody tell me why? To avoid irrelevance and cost. Okay. Much worse things can happen. Sometimes, because the display networks is so vast, your ad can show up against content you don't want your ad to appear with. How many of you have heard of this incident where that flight went missing over, I think, Indian Ocean or Bay of Bengal, MH370, a couple of years back? Correct. Malaysian Airlines, that's right. Yeah. So that time, yeah, Indian Ocean. So that time, few airline ads got triggered next to this tragic news, and a lot of criticism, and it was it had a very adverse impact on the brand value, because people saw it as opportunistic, though it may not have been a very manually motivated kind of a this thing. It maybe the system just identified it to be of same topic or something, and it may have triggered. Okay. But after that point, a lot of changes happened in AdWords, and a lot of options to exclude content has come up now. So now when you create a display network campaign, you have an option for your ads to not show if you check certain boxes. We'll see that when we do the demo campaign on Thursday. You have options to exclude your ad from showing next to, let's say, adult content, or next to sensitive content, or any kind of tragedies, all these things. So you can check those boxes if you don't want, or if you want to prevent your ads from showing up next to those kind of content on websites and apps. Okay. So content exclusion is also an important aspect, and it AdWords gives you that option. And that brings us to the topic of display ad formats. Okay. Display ad formats as I told you, on search network you have only the text ad and shopping ads. In display you have much more. First of all, you have something called Gmail sponsored promotions. Anybody has any idea what this is about? Have you seen ads in your inbox in Gmail? That's right, Albi. You can see sometimes under promotions tab, first two lines, very commonly, it will look like an email, but the moment you click on it, it will open up and it will become a full-fledged ad. These are ads which gets shown to users inside their Gmail inbox. Anybody here who has not seen these ads in their inbox? Or anybody who is not using Gmail? Yes? No? Can I see some response from others? Okay. In Hotmail also? Right. Okay. So I hope those of you who are using might have seen these ads, right? So this is one type of ad format which is available only if you're creating a campaign targeting the Google display network. Text ads, of course, you can see on mobile apps and websites also, just like how you see them on the google.com and search partner websites. Image ads, very common. They can be in the form of static images, animations, flash formats, HTML images, all these things. So image ads are very commonly seen all over the websites and mobile apps. I hope this is clear. Can I proceed? Then you have certain ads which are customized for the mobile screen. These are called mobile display ads. So what you're seeing, the numbers on the left hand side, they are the pixel sizes. You measure in pixel size in laptop and mobile. So when a graphic designer has to design a ad for you and you're targeting mobile devices, they'll have to adhere to these pixel dimensions so that it is user friendly or mobile friendly to show up on mobile devices. Then we have something called rich media ads. So rich media ads are those ads which you cannot say to be simple image ads, or you can't classify them just as a video ad. They are much more than that. So a typical example will be, have you noticed that sometimes on certain websites you might see a very small ad somewhere in some corner? The moment you hover your mouse, you don't even have to click, you just drag your mouse over it, it fills up the entire screen or it starts playing some videos, all these things. Have you noticed such kind of ads? Some websites have that. Anybody here? Yes, I can show you example. So let's look at this example here. Okay, Robin, the Virgin Mobile. So this is like an advanced kind of a rich media ad. Now people are coming with a lot of improvisations. Basically here what happens is, so when Virgin Mobile started this ad, you will be asked to first allow the ad to access your webcam. Now when the webcam is on, you have to blink twice. So that blink will calibrate the ad and it will start initiating the ad. Okay. Or the IKEA ad, which was about, the ad will be about, it will show you different furniture pieces and you need to assemble it to make one full furniture. Okay. So apart from this, if you want a live example of the ad, I'll just show you 1 second. So this video does not have a audio. You can so hover ad. There is a small ad at the bottom. You hover the mouse over it, it expands. Hover ad with video. So you have the small ad. The moment you take the mouse there, it fills the screen, starts playing a video. Did you understand? So this can't be called just as an image ad or a video ad. It actually works on the basis of engagement by the user. So it's very creative. You can have different variety of these kind of ads. So the peel down ad, you may have seen sometimes certain websites. I hope this is clear. All right. So moving on. So lightbox ads are a type of rich media ads which you see in AdWords. Then you have responsive display ads. Responsive display ads, again, we will see this on Thursday, how to create one. The concept of a responsive display ad is that it is a type of ad which will have an image, which will have your business logo, and it will have a text, like a text ad. This is a description line and everything. Depending upon whether the ad space on the website and the app, if it allows for an image, it will show up as an image ad. If it allows only a text ad, it will adapt itself into a text ad, and without any image or logo, the same ad which was created as an image ad will show up as a text ad. Okay, so that is why it is called a responsive ad. It responds to what kind of ad space is available in front of it, and it can adjust its size and appearance to fit it. Is the concept clear? How you do that, how you create it, we will see on Thursday. Yeah, anybody, any doubt here? Responsive display ad. Okay, and finally video ads. I think video ads is pretty clear to everyone. You must have seen all these n number of times on YouTube or other websites. Yeah, so that is video ads. In video you have two types of ads which we will see in detail later. One is called in-stream ad, another is called video discovery ad. So the ads that you're creating on Google AdWords, which are of video campaigns, they are all called true view video ads. Okay, they are called true view video ads, and they are of two types: in-stream and video discovery. In-stream ads are those ads which start playing on its own within a video. So you are going to watch a music or a movie on YouTube. Before the actual video plays, you might see an ad where you have an option to skip after 5 seconds, right? Those kind of ads are called in-stream ads. So they don't wait for you to play. I mean, you don't have to do anything. If you just start playing on its own. The other type of ad, which happens to show up on the homepage of YouTube or while a video is playing right next to it above the related videos and all, in the form of a thumbnail, where you have to actually click on that thumbnail to start playing the video. Those ads are called video discovery ads. Are we clear on this? In-stream and video discovery ads. All right. Ad gallery tool we will do on Thursday. We can actually, do we have time now? Oh, we do have time. Okay, let's go ahead and see the video campaign, display campaign creation process. Okay, so that on Thursday I can take up ad gallery and conversion tracking and remarketing. Okay, right. So display campaign creation. How do you start a new campaign? You go to your campaign page, click on plus new campaign, and from the next page you select the display network option. Is this clear? Please pay attention, because this week's assignment is also to create a display campaign, and there are few things which are different from how you do for a search campaign. Everybody clear on the first step? It's same as how you do for the search campaign. Once you click on display campaign option, you are taken to this page where you have to set a goal. So the goal can be sales, leads, traffic to your website, brand or video, product or brand consideration if you're having a video ad, brand awareness or reach. So if I select sales or if I select brand awareness, depending upon what goal I select, the kind of campaign settings or options that I see will differ. This is an important point. Okay, so because this is a demo and I want you to see all the options, I'm going ahead and showing you with creating a campaign without a goal. If you select any of the goals, only settings which are appropriate for that goal will be available for you in the campaign setting options. Okay, is it clear? Okay, so you need to first, once you select the goal in the earlier page, you will be taken to a page where you have to give two details. One, you have to select the campaign subtype. So you can here either go ahead and create a normal standard display campaign, or you can go ahead and create a Gmail sponsored campaign, Gmail sponsored promotions. Okay, two options are there. And then you have to give your business website. So if you don't have an actual website, you can give your blog address also, that is fine. And then click continue. Now you are on the campaign creation page. Here, if you look at the top, you see the type of campaign, display network campaign. Yeah, and on the right hand side, at all times, depending upon what kind of settings you're choosing, the targeting reach, the data that you're seeing, 10 billion plus impression, that will keep reducing the narrower your targeting becomes. Okay, so the campaign name, I can give any campaign name that I want. So if I'm going to create a campaign for my yoga retreat, for example, I will give the campaign name yoga retreat promo or something like that, where I can identify what kind of ads are part of this campaign. Secondly, I go ahead and create and select my targeting, geographical targeting preferences. So this is exactly like how you have the search campaign. I can target all countries. I can target at the national level, or I can keep adding cities, or I can pick a point and target a radius around that. All these options remains the same. Do you want me to go into the details? This is the same step as in search campaign. So if you type a town or a city name here, you can select that, or you can type a state name, or you can select the national level. You can even add pin codes. If you want to target per pin code, you can add pin codes also. Is this clear? All right. Then languages. So depending upon what language your ads are of, you have to select that, and the customer speaking. So if the customer speak English, select English. That's a default choice anyway. From there, you'll be taken to the page where you have to select the bidding and budget options. Remember the bidding options that we discussed last week, bid strategies? Do you remember? CPA, ROAS, CPM, all these different strategies. So this is the page, this is the section where you select what kind of bidding strategy you have to follow. So if my objective is to generate maximum number of clicks, I can maybe go for maximize clicks. If my objective is, let's say, to get more brand awareness, I can go for viewable CPM, where I pay for every 1,000 impressions. If my objective is sales or conversions, maybe I can go for something like target CPA, where I set a particular cost per conversion. Or if I want to control how much I am paying and how much bid I am going to bid for, I want to have all manual controls. I can choose manual CPC, cost per click. Once I do that, I have to set the budget. Budget is daily budget. How much am I willing to spend in a single day? The maximum amount. So if I put it, let's say, like 100 rupee, at the end of spending 100 rupee every day, my ads will stop running. Yeah. So whatever is the comfortable daily budget, I can select over here. And delivery method, it is recommended to choose standard, like how I said in the search campaign, so that your budget is evenly spread through the day and your ads are eligible to show through the day. If you select accelerated delivery, the focus of the system will be just to exhaust your budget as soon as possible. So only in exceptional time sensitive cases you select accelerated. Otherwise, it's all standard delivery. Any doubts on the slide? These two steps? Okay. Then after setting the budget, you move on to ad rotation. So as I told you, every ad group will have multiple ads, right? You may have 4 or 5 variations of the same ad. So when I select optimize, once the campaign goes live and it starts accruing clicks and impressions, the ads which gives me better results, they start showing more often. They get better preference in terms of showing more often. And if I select do not optimize, irrespective of how each ad variation is performing, every ad will get an equal opportunity to show up. Okay. It is recommended to go for the first optimize option so that your best performing ads are shown more often. And then comes ad scheduling. Ad scheduling, as same as in search campaign, you can select if you wish to run your ads only during specific days of the week, or even on all the days. If you want to run your ads only during specific times, you can select over here. And finally, by default, the campaign is set to go live on the day you create the campaign. Otherwise, you have an option to set a start and end date if you want to schedule the campaign to run between 2 different dates. Any doubts over here, guys? Is it clear? All right. Then comes device targeting. This is something that is not there in search campaign. So either I can choose to have all the ads under this campaign show up on all devices, in which case I'll select the first option, or I can choose to target only specific devices. So if I select the second option, it will give me choice. So let's say I want to have my targeting only on computers and mobiles. I don't want tablets. I can uncheck these boxes. Or I want my ads to show up only on mobile. I can uncheck computer and tablets. Only mobile I will keep checked. That is one way. You can pick and choose what devices you want your ads to show up. Secondly, you can all even pick and choose what operating systems or even device models you want to target. So if I want to target only iOS devices, I can go to operating system, select only iOS. Or if I want only Android, I can select like that. Same with device models. It will give you a list. When you see click on all device models, it will give you a long list of different prominent brands like Motorola, Samsung, Apple, everything, and each and every device models they have, like iPhone 5, 5s, 6, all these things. So if you want to target specific device models, you can do that from here. In networks, depending upon what country you're in, it will show you the different mobile networks. So if you want to like for example, if you select India, networks will show you a list like Airtel, Vodafone, BSNL, MTNL, whatever. And you can, if you want, you can target only specific carriers. Now you may ask, why should we target only specific devices or specific carriers? My answer would be, it's just an option that is there. If for some reason some analysis reveals that, let's say, maybe Apple devices or iOS operating systems are for some reason delivering the maximum results for you, maybe you can try and create a campaign just focusing on those devices. That's a possibility. Is it clear? Device targeting. This level of targeting is not available on search network campaigns, right? And this is to all help you narrow down your targeting to the most precise group of people. Yeah, that's right, Albi. If you're promoting an iOS app and you're creating a campaign for that, it doesn't make sense to show it on an Android system, right? Those ads. You can select iOS as the operating system. Good example. Or let's say you are a retailer for Apple iPhones, and a new model of iPhone has come, and you want to target people who are using an older device with some exchange policy ads and stuff like that. Maybe you can select device models and target people who are using a specific device model or older versions. That's also possible. Yeah. Then we have another option which is again not there in search campaign. This is called frequency capping. Frequency capping means, see, how am I targeting a user on display network? I am defining certain parameters, right? Either I'll be saying, okay, this person target only men or target only women, target only people who are in a particular age group. Okay. Now let's say I target my target group. I define my audience targeting as people between 20 and 40 years or 20 and 50 years, interested in digital marketing, something like that. And let's say broadly it matches with all of you guys. Okay. Now, and let's say I'm running a campaign for my digital marketing classes. Now you will start getting my ad, yeah, because you guys are matching the criteria of what I defined. And you will be seeing these ads where you will be seeing these ads on some website or apps that you are browsing. Did you get the example? Now my audience criteria matches with all of you, so you are seeing the ad. Now you saw the ad one time. Does that mean the system will not show you again? As far as the system is concerned, you are a user who is matching the criteria that the advertiser defined, so it can potentially keep showing the ad again and again to you. Yes or no? Yeah, it can show you potentially. Now, you saw my ad 5 times. Okay, you haven't taken any action. You didn't sign up for my class. Is it doing good for any good for me if system keeps showing you the ad again and again? After a point, I am losing out on reaching newer users, right? Who might take some action. So I can set a frequency cap. Frequency cap means how many times a unique user will see your ad. This cap can be set at the daily level, weekly level, or monthly level. It can be set at the campaign level, ad group level, or even ad level. So if I say 10 impressions per month per campaign, I mean for this campaign, if I say like that, what it means is in a month a single user will not see more than 10 times ads from this campaign. So any ad from this campaign, it will be shown to one user only a maximum of 10 times in that month. Am I clear? If I make it weekly and ad group, what does it mean? In a week, you will not see ads from this particular ad group more than 10 times. Or if I say 10 per day at the level of this ad. So whichever ad I am setting it for, that ad will not be shown more than 10 times in a single day to a person. So depending upon what you wish, you can set the frequency and the level in the frequency cap. Yeah? Any doubt? Okay. Then comes content exclusion. In content exclusion, as I told you, you have an options. You see this? You can check mark what are the sections against which you don't want your ads to appear. Tragedy and conflict, sensitive social issues, profanity and rough language, sexually suggestive, sensational and shocking. Or if you don't want your ads to show up next to games or below the fold. Below the fold means when you see a website, you see only the first half. Then you have to scroll down to see the next half, right? So the part which you can't see is called below the fold. So if you don't want your ads to show below the fold, you can put it there. Park domains or inside video. So depending upon where you don't want your ads to appear, you can check mark those boxes. Is this clear? Okay. Once you've done content exclusion, you reach the ad group creation page. In the ad group creation page, you can first name the ad group and then select your targeting. So targeting we already saw, so I don't think I have to explain it again, right? So at this level, you select your audience. So if you want to target people based on their interest or intent or remarketing, you can do that. If you want to target them based on their age, gender, you can do that. So as I told you, multiple options can be used at the same time. So if I'm using demographic targeting and I'm saying people between the age of 20 and 40, okay, men and women, both gender, affinity, book lovers, okay. Now what will happen is, since I have selected three options, what are three options? Age group 20 to 40, gender men and women, affinity book lover. System will look at the group which matches all the three criteria. So what are the three criteria? So if you are a person, man or woman between 20 or 40 years of age and a book lover and classified as a book lover, then you will see my ad. So that's how it works in conjunction, all the when you put multiple. So the more the targeting options you're adding, narrower the group will become. Is this clear? Okay. So you select your audience over here. You can select the affinity category or intent category or the remarketing list. Gender categories will be like this. Demographic category: gender, age, parental status. Household income data is not available for India. It is available for select countries. US has it. So if you're targeting US, it might be available for you. In content targeting, you can still add keywords if you wish to. You can select topics, or you can select pick and choose websites or apps. So topic targeting will give you a list of topics to select from. Placement targeting will give you a search option to select specific YouTube channels or specific websites or YouTube videos or mobile apps which match with what you want, the kind of website you want to advertise on. So if it's there, you can add it. And it also asks you an option at this point whether you want to automate targeting. So conservative automation, aggressive automation. Basically what it means is, by now you have already defined who should see your ad, right? So system is asking, if you select conservative automation, the AdWords system will try to get more customers like the ones I have already targeted without increasing the cost per customer, which means basically cost per conversion. So if you want, you can select conservative or aggressive, or if you don't want, you can select no automated targeting. You just want to trigger ads as per what you have set. Once you've done that, ad group page is over. Now you can create the ad. So there are two ways of creating an ad in display campaign. One, you can upload a display ad. So if your graphic designer has already designed ads for you, you can upload it, or you can create a responsive display ad, the one we saw earlier. So if you have a graphic designer who designs ads for you, there are certain specifications when you select that. So you just have to share these specifications with your designer. So it has to be either a GIF, JPG, or PNG image, maximum of 150 KB size. Yeah. And depending upon the kind of dimension you want, square, rectangle, banner, leaderboard, or skyscraper, those vertical ads, depending upon that, they have to create an ad within those pixel sizes. Is this clear? So there is no work for you actually. Once the designer has made these ads based on these criteria, you just have to select it from your laptop and upload it over here. That is one way. The other way is to create a responsive ad. So in the responsive ad, this is what you see the interface. You have an option to write your ad. So you can write the headline like a text ad, two headlines, description line. Then you can give your business name and the final URL. This part looks like a text ad, right? Now you also have an option to add few images or business logo. So once you do that, you can see a preview on the right hand side. How is the preview showing? The image, the title, description, logo, everything is there. So on a web page where image ad is permitted, it will show up like this, what you're seeing here. On a web page or mobile app page where they allow only text ads, the image and logo won't be there. It will just show up as a regular text ad. Is this clear? Everyone, any doubt? So once you've created the responsive ad over here, You can either add it to an ad group or create a campaign, and that will complete the display campaign creation process. Is this clear? Any doubts, guys? No? All right. So in that case, we will stop here for today. We have 5 minutes to close. We'll take up ad gallery tool, conversion tracking, and remarketing in the Thursday class. So this is the feedback form for you for today's class. Please fill it out before you log out. Please let me know once you've completed. Thank you, Rashish. Thank you, Albi. Thanks, Manali. Thank you, Abhijit. Has everyone taken the feedback form? Okay, if you have taken the feedback, thank you. If you don't have any other doubts, let us meet on Thursday. Okay, guys. Good night. See you on Thursday at 8 o'clock. Thank you.